I'm going to be doing is making some Turkish coffee. I'm going to be talking about the history of coffee, some of the health benefits of coffee, and the steps involved in making yourself a perfect Turkish coffee. A little bit of history. Coffee was first discovered in Yemen approximately 500 years ago. It's a stimulant that has spread across the world, and each country has developed its own unique blend and ways of preparation. The coffee and preparation that I'm going to be talking about today is Turkish coffee, which is actually the first brew of coffee invented. Coffee entered Egypt during the Ottoman colonisation, and the people of Egypt prepared the coffee in a way that became known as Turkish coffee. Did you know that at one time in history, coffee was actually considered a drug and its consumption was banned? However, due to its immense popularity, the ban was eventually lifted and people could happily drink their coffee again. The Turkish coffee culture reached Britain and France by the mid-17th century, and the first coffee house in Britain was opened by a Turk in the mid-17th century. It's now hard to imagine a life without coffee, but did you know the best and healthiest times for you to drink coffee are not first thing in the morning, but actually between 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning and 1:30 to 5 p.m. The reason for this is to do with a stress hormone that your body produces in the morning called cortisol. So in order to balance this, these are basically the best times to drink the coffee. Okay, so this is the traditional setup for a Turkish coffee. This is called a traditional tabletop burner, and it was used before electricity and gas. The tabletop burner used to use a cheap, impure, blue-coloured alcohol. You would light this up using the cotton rope in the middle here, and you would heat the coffee up very slowly to make your Turkish coffee. Once the coffee boils, you blow out the fire using this lid, and your coffee is ready. To make Turkish coffee, you will need a metal pot. This one is made out of stainless steel. In the past, we used to often make them out of copper. Nowadays, we tend to use stainless steel because it's less reactive. Some grounded coffee, and that's the one I'm using. When you're making Turkish coffee, it's really important to use a medium roasted, very finely ground coffee, a little bit like very smooth powder. This type of coffee can be bought from most supermarkets and delicatessens. A lot of the Turkish coffees you now buy on the market are blended with various herbs and spices. So the one I'm using today actually has some cardamom and saffron, and these can add additional benefits while drinking the coffee. The ingredients needed to make a Turkish coffee are Turkish coffee, water, and sugar, which is optional. I've got sugar with me today, but I'm not actually going to be adding it to my Turkish coffee. You start by deciding how many cups of coffee you want to make. So I'm just going to make 1 cup of Turkish coffee today. At this point, you will also add the sugar if you want sugar. However, you shouldn't stir the sugar in the pot, as the sugar naturally caramelizes and disperses throughout the coffee. You then add 1 teaspoon of coffee per person. However, this can vary according to preferences, and if you do like a strong coffee, you can add some extra. You place the pot on the stove with a low heat and let it heat up for a minute or 2, and then stir slowly. After a few minutes, the coffee will come to the boil. A ring of foam will form at the top of the coffee, which is a classical sign of a good brew. The more foam, the better the coffee. You move the coffee from the heat before it overflows. Spoon a bit of the foam up into your cup, then place it back on the fire. When it heats up for a second time, you pour the coffee with the remaining froth into your cup, and do it slowly to preserve the texture of the foam already in the cup. Turkish coffee is classically served with a glass of water to cleanse the palate before taking your first sip. This will allow you to really enjoy the rich flavour of the coffee. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and perhaps if you're a fan of coffee and you enjoy making coffee, you'll have a go at brewing your own Turkish coffee at home. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I always love to hear from you. And if you're watching this video and you haven't yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button so that I can keep you updated with lots more of my videos. Take care everyone, look after yourselves and look after each other. Thank you, bye bye.